Should we really feel bad for real estate investors if they lose money on their investment? Should we feel bad for anybody who invests their time, energy, and resources in an investment and they lose out? That's the question. We're going to jump onto that today. Hey folks, how you guys doing today? My name is Jimmy Roberts, your local real estate professional, and I want to address that question. And the reason I want to do it is because I've seen some very troubling things from some keyboard warriors as of late. I recently saw a Reddit post from this local, I don't know if he was local or not, from this investor. I don't even know if it's a he, by the way, but this investor purchased a property. They went through the process of rehabbing it, and long and the short of it, didn't quite work out, and they ended up taking a bath on the property. Not only did they take a bath on the property, but according to the Reddit post, they actually lost significantly amounts of money to the point where, their own financial future is in jeopardy. And that's the story. Now, that's one part of it. But the part that really concerned me wasn't really that, because frankly, that happens. You take a risk. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. It happens. But the thing that really got to me was reading some of the posts underneath this particular investor's story. This was some of the most hateful and venomous stuff I'd ever seen in my life. And I've seen a lot of hateful, venomous stuff. These people were saying stuff like, eat crap and die. Good for you. I hope your mother dies and da-da-da-da-da. It was really, really bad. And all because this person took a chance at renovating a property and it didn't work out. So it got me to thinking. Matter of fact, I've been thinking about this for the last couple of weeks because I just didn't really know how to feel about it, because it was so mean, for lack of a better word. It was just mean. I just didn't think that we had gotten to that point. Of course, that's very Pollyannish of me, considering our current climate. But not even just our current climate, considering the fact that, everybody who does something, generally speaking, they're always haters, for lack of a better term. And I guess this is no different than that. But this one is a little bit more personal to me because, as you guys know, one of the activities that I've taken part in my real estate career is actually investing in properties. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Just between me and you, I'm probably mediocre at best. I know it needs to get done. My biggest issue is making sure that it gets done to my standards, which oftentimes means that it takes longer and costs more than I initially anticipate, which ultimately means my profits are minimized. And in some cases, to be quite frank, some cases I was able to break even and I was happy to do it. But I knew when I did that the property that I started with was significantly better than the one that I left. And the families that took over after I left it are in very good condition. Of course, that didn't say a hell of a lot about my bank account, but hey, it is what it is. Like I said, when you're investing, whatever it is, if you take a risk, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But anyway, enough about me. The issue the question that I keep coming up with, though, is why were those people so angry? And that's kind of what it sounded like. They were so angry at people who actually took a shot and tried to improve a property. It was almost as if, because these people decided to use their time, energy, and resources to do that, that somehow or another made the people who were hating on them less than. And it had nothing to do with them, right? It just felt very wrong, for lack of a better word. So I want to hear what you have to say. This is one of the things that I don't really understand about people in prosperity, especially here in the United States, right? Because it's my understanding that in the United States anyway, where we have the opportunity to we get the opportunity to be whoever we want, at least on paper, for most of us anyway, we have the opportunity to strive and succeed. And there is, to my understanding, there is no sector that has not had anybody prosper in it. So regardless of what I mean by that, regardless of your scenario, however you made it to the United States or whatever your condition is in the United States, whatever grouping you belong to, there's somebody in that grouping who started off where you were and made it, quote unquote, whatever made it means to you. They made it. Somebody made it. So if somebody made it, that means that you have a great opportunity to do the same. And the reality is, you know, even if you don't make it to whatever that made it status is, you can definitely significantly improve your situation with a hell of a lot of focus and hard work. That's just the way it is. I don't necessarily know that that's the way it is in other countries. But then again, to be quite honest, I've only lived here in the United States, so I don't really know. But, you know, that's a question for another day. But back to the haters. One of the reasons that I'm so confused about the haters and look at them kind of side-eyed is because I know for a fact that when investors, especially those in real estate, take on the task of renovating properties that have been typically run down, they put a lot of money into renovating those properties. That means that a property that maybe didn't have a furnace now has a furnace, water heater, and in most cases is significantly better than it was before that investor got their hands on it. And the investor's not living in that property, so you can't say that they're directly benefiting from that, but they're making it so that another family doesn't have to put those resources into it to live in it. I think that's a very noble and honorable thing to do. Of course they do it for profit. Again, where are we? We're in the United States of America. You're supposed to be able to profit for your efforts. That's what's supposed to happen. That's why we have this capitalist society. There's nothing wrong with capitalism, at least. And if it is, you know, maybe you need not express that here because this is the land of capitalism, plain and simple. So again, one of the things that I wanted to talk about this because, again, I'm not saying that every investor is correct and every investor does the right thing. But just because you're not an investor and maybe you don't have the resources, that doesn't make you a saint either. You understand what I'm saying? Just because you don't have it doesn't make you a saint. Just because because somebody took a chance to better their life and the lives of other people, I just really don't think that we should be ridiculing them if they happen to fall on their face. I just don't think that. I don't see that. That is just bass backwards, for lack of a better word, for me. Now, I want to hear what you have to think. Write it in the comments and let me know exactly what you think about this scenario that I was just talking about, because I personally think we got to do better. We got to encourage people to actually jump in the market. And even if you don't jump in the market, just buy the house next door, fix it up, and put your cousins in it, because they probably need a place to stay. That's my thoughts. This is Jimmy Roberts, your local real estate investor. Tell me what your thoughts below, and I will see you in the next video. See ya.